Hi everybody, Christopher Benevento, attorney at law with the Benevento Law Firm in Essex County, New Jersey. Today we're going to talk about expungements and what an expungement is, what the process for an expungement is, and how to determine whether or not you're eligible for an expungement. That's a big deal, okay? Because not everybody's eligible to get an expungement. So first, what's an expungement? An expungement is a clearing of your criminal history. All right, that means that if you've been arrested or convicted it's going to be on your criminal history. All right, and you don't want the public seeing that, specifically employers and schools if you're applying to a school. So that's a big deal. Now, every once in a while, you may have a future spouse that wants to check your criminal history. Don't worry, it won't be available to them either. And obviously, in today's environment, we have a very, very competitive job market. So, any leg up that you can get helps. All right. So, what's the procedure for doing this? It starts off with getting your criminal history. All right. A certified criminal history from the New Jersey State Police. And again, everything I'm talking about refers to New Jersey law. I don't know what Arizona does or New York does or California does. We're here in New Jersey. So it starts off with getting your criminal history from the New Jersey State Police, and there's a process for that. There's an application on their website. You have to go get a fingerprint check and go through that process and wait for your certified criminal history to come back in the mail. Then you know that you have the right criminal history and crimes and everything, because it's very important to make sure that you get everything in on that expungement. All right. The next thing that you're going to do is draft a petition for an expungement. That petition is you're asking the court for something. You're going to draft a petition for expungement. You're going to draft a proposed order for expungement that you want the judge to sign, and a proposed order for a hearing date. All right. All that stuff gets sent in a package to the court to filing with a check, with a filing fee. They're going to send you a filed copy back. Once you get that filed copy back, you're going to send all of those copies to a list of agencies that have your records. So we're talking about the police department, the court, the prosecutor, the sheriff's department, county jail, the New Jersey State Police, anybody in the state that has your records. You're going to send it to them, and there's going to be a link in the descriptions to the application and how to do this. It'll give you a list of those people that you have to serve. Once you serve everybody, and you're going to do that by certified mail, you're going to get those green cards back. That has to be filed again with the court, what's called proof of service. All right, that's proof that you served everybody. In the meantime, you're going to have a hearing date that's scheduled by the judge. All right, you'll know what that hearing date is because you got that order for a hearing date back signed. And in between that time, from everybody getting served and the hearing date, you're waiting to see if anybody's going to object. Any of these agencies are going to object to your petition. And if they do object, you're going to show up on that hearing date and you're going to make an argument for why their objection should be overruled and why the judge should sign the order for expungement. All right. Once that happens and you get an order for expungement, that order is going to be served on everybody again. All right. And you're going to wait for a letter back from the state stating that all of the records have been corrected. Now, I'm explaining this in only a couple of minutes, but I understand this process takes months, and a lot of times there are wrenches thrown in the works. The New Jersey State Police are too busy, the court's too busy, the prosecutor lost paperwork, some court clerk lost a proof of service, and these things all have to be corrected. So we'll go back to once you get that letter back, right, at the end, that all the records have been corrected, you're good. You're fine. You can apply for jobs. You can do all that. They can do the background search, and nothing's going to show up. Now, the problem is not everybody's eligible for an expungement, all right? We're going to talk about first what crimes in New Jersey, if you commit, they cannot be expunged. And that is, I'm looking down here at a list. By the way, Michael Saba in my office prepared this list for me. It's a great list, great outline of the expungement process because it is kind of complicated. I want to make sure that we give you guys good advice. So, okay, what crimes can't be expunged? I'll tell you right now. Criminal homicide, kidnapping, human trafficking, luring or enticing, sexual assault, robbery, arson, terrorism, and last but not least, perjury. All right, you can't expunge a perjury charge. So don't lie in court, because it's always going to be on your record. All right. So if you committed any of those crimes, well, tough luck. Now here's the problem: you can't, if you have a 20-year, criminal career, you may not be able to expunge all your crimes. And the reason being is, and this law is pretty new from last year, on how many crimes you can expunge. You can expunge 1 indictable offense and 3 disorderly persons offenses. All right. Now we say indictable crimes, disorderly offenses, but think felonies and misdemeanors. Okay. In New Jersey, we don't say felonies and misdemeanors, but that's essentially what it is. So 1 felony, 3 misdemeanors. All right. You can actually expunge multiple felonies if they're all part of the same offense, meaning you committed them all at once. It's all part of the same set of facts. You may be able to expunge multiple felonies. Disorderly persons offenses. If you have no indictable crimes or felonies, you can expunge 4 disorderly persons offenses or misdemeanors. All right. And there are some exceptions to this rule and some nuances to this rule. But for our purposes here, to kind of give you a general overview, just remember that. All right. Now, we have a program here in New Jersey, or 3 programs, I should say, that we like to call get out of jail free cards. All right. And these programs are programs that if you're generally a first-time offender, you can enter into these programs and your charges will be dismissed if you follow the special probationary period. Excuse me. Now, those are pretrial intervention, conditional discharge, and conditional dismissal. I'm not going to go into those programs right now. It's not the purpose of this. But if you complete those programs and your charges are dismissed, you need to wait 6 months. All right, 6 months from the end of the sentence, not sentencing, but the end of the sentence. The sentence is completed. All right, the probationary period, your fines are paid, all that stuff is done before you can file for an expungement. For indictable crimes, felonies, you need to wait 6 years from the end of the sentence. So from the time you get out of jail or off of parole or off of probation and all your fines are paid, then 6 years. For disorderly persons offenses, 5 years. All right, so 5 years from the end of the sentence, same thing. Okay, now there may be some exceptions with that, okay, but we're not going to go into the exceptions right now. To give you the general overview, that's what it is. Okay, now we have a special rule, a new special rule, and I think we can thank Governor Chris Christie for this. Okay, he may not be your favorite person in the world, but I think this is a very good rule and it helps out my clients a lot. And we have another program called drug court. If you complete drug court, all right, if you have a substance abuse problem and you commit a crime, and that crime is because of your substance abuse problem, you can enter into the drug court program. It's a very, very heavily supervised program, and if you complete drug court successfully, okay, you can expunge your entire record with some exceptions. All right, now this is a very, very big deal, okay, because some people do have that 10, 15, 20-year career, criminal history. And if they go through drug court, they may be able to expunge all of it. It's a big deal. All right? So as long as that was my phone. As long as you were never convicted of a non-expungible offense, all right? You're not convicted of any crimes during the term of special probation, okay? That means during the time you're going through that drug court program, all right, and the court finds it appropriate, all right. That's a key. So the court has some leeway here. The judges have discretion on whether or not to approve this. Now we have one right now where somebody has about a 15-year career history, and where he went through drug court, completed drug court, has turned his life around, is doing great, and we are making an attempt to expunge his record. We had one objection from the state police. The prosecutor, to their credit, called up and was on our client's side on this issue, and we rewrote the petition in a manner which would explain to the state police why he's going to be granted a petition for or granted an expungement. So, you know, it helps to have an attorney. You can do this yourself, but you shouldn't. All right, you always have the right to represent yourself pro se, but I'll tell you what, I don't represent myself pro se, and I'm a lawyer. Okay, very rarely would I ever represent myself pro se, and most lawyers, I think, are of the same, same thought process here, the same belief system. So that's it. That's expungements in 10 minutes or 11 minutes. If you have any questions, you can always call my office. All right, we do a lot of expungements. We have a lot of experience with doing expungements. We know how important they are in order to move forward with your life. Because as it goes right now, I mean, people are getting background checks like that. So it is really important for you to be competitive and get a good job. All right. So it was very nice talking to you. Thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions, again, give us a call at the Benevento Law Firm. All right. Have a nice day.